So Russ and I have a bond that goes back 28 years. This weekend, as a matter of fact, 28 years ago to the day yesterday, I sat with a couple of officers of our congregation, of this congregation, and I signed my very first contract for my first time of employment with Congregation Shaarai Shomayim. At that moment, Ross and his family were watching the weather because on that Shabbat, Ross was to celebrate becoming a bar mitzvah. Except it was snowing or was about to start snowing. And the question wasn't, is it really going to snow? Is it not going to snow? It wasn't even really, what time is the snow going to start? The answer was, how many feet of snow are we expecting? Feet being the operative word there. At the last minute, Ross's family pivoted of necessity. He celebrated his entire bar mitzvah Torah, Haftorah speech that Friday night. I was back in New Jersey, where I was serving as the assistant rabbi at the time. And about a month later, I came back on a Friday night to officially meet the congregation. When I got to eat the chicken that was supposed to be for Ross's bar mitzvah reception, that snowy Saturday, I had the great privilege of watching Ross grow as a student, as a musician, hearing about the music he did at McCaskey High School and then at Temple University, and then his application to the Hebrew Union College, what was not yet then the Debbie Friedman School of Sacred Music. There was a little bit of a problem with Ross's education, not with him, but with events in Israel. Because when Ross was to go for his first year of cantorial school to Israel, there was one of those times where most of the world thought it wasn't safe to be there. And the Hebrew Union College said, okay, we'll send our new students during one of their other years, and Ross and a handful of others decided they were going off to Israel anyway. Where Ross then returned 2 years later for his third year. Do I have that right? Third year, right? Of cantorials, fourth year of cantorials. I've been able to hear Ross, to learn from him, to be inspired by him in different settings throughout all these years. I had the great privilege of being in Arizona for Ross's installation and to understand who he had become as a spiritual leader. The treat you're in for tonight. I often describe Ross as the cantor who can sit on the floor and sing silly songs with kids, and then sing those big cantorial pieces, and do a lot of things that people just get to sing along with and enjoy together. That's who Ross is as a cantor, as a spiritual leader. He brings people along with him. He inspires people of all ages. We are blessed to be able to say that his Jewish life started at Congregation Shaarai Shomayim, and what a gift that Ross is here with us tonight. And with that, Cantor Ross Wolman.
May I suggest to you, may I suggest this is the best part of your life. May I suggest this time is blessed for you. This time is blessed and shining almost blinding bright. Just turn your head and you'll begin to see the thousand reasons that were just beyond your sight, the reasons why I suggest to you, why I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a world that's been addressed to you, intended only for your eyes, a secret world like a treasure chest to you, of private scenes and brilliant dreams that mesmerize, a lover's trusting smile, a tiny baby's hand, the million stars that fill the turning sky at night. Oh, I suggest to you, oh, I suggest this is the best part of your life. There is a hope that's been expressed in you, the hope of 7 generations, maybe more. And this is the faith that they expressed in you, is that you'll do one better than was done before. Inside you know, inside you understand, inside you know what's yours to finally set right. And I suggest to you, and I suggest this is the best part of your life. This is a song, comes from the west to you, comes from the west, comes from the slowly setting sun, with a request of you, to see how very short the endless days will run. And when they're gone, when the dark descends, oh, we'd give anything for one more hour of light. And I suggest this is the best part of your life. Hello, friends. Bruchim habayim. What a treat to be together. I see lots of friends are joining from Shaarai Shomayim, my home. It means so much to be able to present this program for you tonight. As Rabbi said, today, 28 years ago, was the day of my bar mitzvah. Well, it would have been, but not for the snow. And, I got this little beautiful mezuzah from the Brotherhood. And I lost it sledding down Spencer Avenue, because you just sledded down the streets during that blizzard of '93. And what a good memory and a good story, especially in this COVID pandemic, for my students, B'nai Mitzvah students, and their families, to know that celebrations denied are sometimes just celebrations postponed. There are always going to be times to have parties. I ended up having a party at the JCC with my family and friends. I think Mom and Dad got a dozen of those. Remember those double Little Caesars pizzas? There were like 2 in a box. And we played the greased watermelon game and everything. Really, really great memories. So it is in that vein that I prepared this program to think a little bit about where I've come from, a little bit about where we're going, and a little bit of nostalgia for the community in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I just want to say welcome to friends from Arizona. I see some of my current congregants are on. I see some of my BJBE congregants from Deerfield, Illinois have signed on, and friends near and far, and of course, our dear Rabbi Jack Paskoff and current cantorial soloist Steve Dropkin, my old friend. We go way back, I think, to Havana Shira '98. What a treat to reconnect and have this come full circle. And so, one of the biggest problems we have right now in this pandemic is we can't sing together. In fact, singing is worse than talking. Singing spreads the virus more than anything else, and as a song leader, that is deeply challenging. Can you imagine a surgeon being told, well, just don't use any stitches and you'll be fine? How am I supposed to do my job? So it is a treat to be able to sing together. I invite you to sing at home. There will be tunes that you're going to know, and there will be some things that I will invite you to sing. I've been used to this. We've been doing it for a year. 1 year ago, this Shabbat was our final bat mitzvah that we had on this bima before the pandemic. And so the best way to sing along with someone is to find a really musically talented wife and have 3 kids that love to sing as well. So I'm going to invite my family up here. Come on. The kids are all dismantling all my equipment in the back. I've got kind of a studio set up to prepare my videos. And come on up, guys. So one way that we have been fostering music in our community before the pandemic is we would have what we call the Levites. These are, in the days of the Beit HaMikdash, the temple in Jerusalem, you would have the Kohanim that would do all the worship and the burnt offerings, and the Levites, the Levi'im, would be the ones to be the musicians. Why do you have a mask on? There's nobody here. The gate was locked when we got here. The Levi'im were the ones who would welcome everyone and sing music and kind of bring the joy into the temple. So our group, and I see a few of our Levites are on streaming right now, we would sit and we would have Shabbos dinner, and then we would sit and sing, maybe tease a few songs that are coming up around the corner, and maybe sometimes, I'm sure everyone's heard of Torah Lishma, studying Torah for the sake of study. This was Shira Lishma, just singing for the sake of singing. And so this is a tune that we had planned to introduce in the congregation, never got around to it because of the pandemic. It's from Beit Tfilah Yisraeli. Yotam Mahler is the composer, the community in Tel Aviv. And this Niggun is called Hurry Up, Shabbat is Coming. And here's how it goes. Oh, I'm going to switch guitars. All right. Everyone say hi to Aviv, Bina, and Ellie, and Malka. Ellie's running down the stairs, kind of like I was known to do in Lancaster. All right. Ready to give it a shot? So this Niggun, we're going to sing it once through, and then you're going to learn, you're going to sing everything that they sing. It's a little back and forth. It's a lot of fun. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go! Hi dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di. Hi dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di. Hi dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di. Hi dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di dee di. I dig a die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. I dig a die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. I dig a die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. I dig a die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. I dig a die dee die dee die dee. I dig a die dee die dee die dee. I dig a die. I dig a die. I. Hey! All right, so that was a somewhat slower version of how it's going to go, but let's just learn that a little bit at a time. I'll go first, sing with them. They're going to repeat after me. I dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. Ready? Here we go. And I dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. I dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. Sing it with us. Ready? Go. I dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. I dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. Same idea. Down a little bit. I dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. I dig a die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. I dig a die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die dee die. I dig a die dee die dee die dee die dee And then back and forth. Call and response. I dig a di 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 di. I dig a di 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 di. I dig a di 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 di. I dig a di 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 di. Let's do that together. Ready? And I dig a di 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 di. Time out. Can you hear them? We're good? Okay. Take a step closer. The microphone's right here. Aviv, don't get any ideas. He's like little me. I dig it. 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 I. Hey, everyone, ready? And I dig it. 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 I dig Stop! Okay. Can you see why this is called Hurry Up, Shabbat is Coming? Whoever has spent Shabbat in Jerusalem knows that you go to the shuk in the morning, you go to the market, and you get flowers, and you get potatoes, and you get chicken, and you got to hurry up, and then you got to get home, and then you got to cook it, and then you got to set the table, and hummus. That's my girl. And then the siren goes off, it's Shabbat, and it's quiet. And then there's a part of the song that reflects that as well. I dig it, I dig it, I dig it, I dig it, I, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, and everything is relaxed. Except if you're leading a concert that night. Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, Shalom. Thanks, guys. See, you can sing together. You just have to sing together with your pod.
Yeah, pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, everyone. Just a couple of tunes that I really have taken to recently. One is a tune that we learned from Israel. That's another one from Israel. Written by a modern Orthodox woman. I love that the voices of the modern Orthodox women are being heard in Israel. It means a great deal. And this one, did everyone get the program? The program is available via PDF that I shared in the chat. It's a Dropbox link. If you don't have it, I'm sure our good friend John can share it again. The Kanfei Ruach. On Yom Kippur, we are called to stand up, to find within us inner strength. Ki koach az lecha, yesh lecha kanfei ruach. You have the wings of eagles. You just have to take that inner strength and have the resolve to take that first step forward to being the best version of yourself that you can be. This is a tune that, there's the key. This is popular in Israel, and you'll hear it in many minyanim, and it's become part of our Yom Kippur ritual in Prayer Lab. I'll talk about Prayer Lab in a little bit. Let's move that mic out of the shot. Okay. And the text is by Rav Kook. I know a source of that Rabbi Paskov has quoted many times. Ben Adam, Alei Lamala Alei, Alei Lamala Alei, Ben Adam, Alei Lamala Alei, Ben Adam, Alei Lamala Alei, Alei Lamala Alei, Ben Adam, Alei Lamala Alei. Ki koach az lecha, yesh lecha kanfei ruach, yesh lecha kanfei ruach, kanfei nesharim abirim, al techachesh bam, pen yechachashu lecha, derosh Yotam, derosh ben Adam, ve'yikatzu lecha miyad. Ben Adam, Alei lamala alei, Alei lamala alei, Ben Adam, Alei lamala alei, Ben Adam, Alei lamala alei, Alei lamala alei, Ben Adam, Alei lamala alei. Ki koach az lecha, yesh lecha kanfei ruach, yesh lecha kanfei ruach, kanfei nesharim abirim, al techachesh bam, pen yechachashu lecha, derosh Yotam, derosh ben Adam, ve'imatzu lecha miyad. Ben Adam, Alei lamala alei, Alei lamala alei, Ben Adam, Alei lamala alei. So I did a wedding on New Year's Eve, and with our associate rabbi, Bonnie Kopel. It was a real treat to be present for weddings, even in this time. You know, everyone is doing their best to be safe. And the groom had this request. Hey, Cantor, do you know Because by the Dave Clark 5? And I said, no. But, you know, it's always an opportunity to learn new songs, and this song really stuck with me, and I enjoyed it. And on the Shabbat of Valentine's Day weekend, we said, maybe let's sing a song of love, you know, after silence. And I printed up the music. I was rushing, doing a million things, and I got up to the bima here and came to the moment, and I realized I had printed the wrong music. Wah, wah. So that happens every once in a while. It was the very simple version where I was expecting kind of the jazzy version, and it was not. Later on that evening, or maybe the next day, I had a Shabbat afternoon phone call with my dad. I'm sure you know Jim Wolman very well. He is the man who sits in the back and sings, Ritzei, 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 Adonai Eloheinu. Is that still your favorite, Dad? I don't know, I can't see him. Okay. So Dad said, you know, Ross, that wasn't your best work. And I said, I know. And I told him the story, but I really do love this song, and it, you know, reminds us, I think, to continue challenging ourselves in the craft that we choose, continue finding those love songs that can mean so much. So this is Because by the Dave Clark 5. With the jazzy, fancy music. I printed it out this time. Nope. There it is. It's right that I should care about you. try to make you happy when you're blue. It's right to feel the way I do. Because I love you. It's right that I should care about you and try to make you happy when you're blue. It's right to feel the way I do. Because I love you. Wrong to say I don't think of you. And when you say these things, you know it makes me blue. Give me one kiss and I'll be happy. Just to be here with you. Give me a chance to be near you. Because I love you. Because I love you. All right, so let's talk about Prayer Lab. First of all, some of the things we're going to do this evening will be on video. And you say, why did I show up all this way to watch a few YouTube clips over here? Let me tell you in a Lancaster accent. Okay, I don't know, because it's been too long since I lived there. But I went into Brooklyn for some reason. So before we do that, just a word to say hi to a little bit of the past. Oh, that's my dad.
Mountains and annihilate them from the face of the earth.
Oh, that's the English. There we go.
And I, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato,
All right.
baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
That's enough of that.
But
That was my bar mitzvah. Okay. Where's that video? Okay. So, prayer lab. When our current senior rabbi, unfortunately she's leaving, but she's going to a good place and going near her parents who are aging, so we're happy for her. Mari Chernow is, during my interview, we just got talking and said, one thing I love is Beit Tfilah Yisraeli, this group in Israel that takes secular song and turns it into meaningful prayer. Why can't we take pop music and bring it, or jazz, or anything, and bring it into the service? That's what our people have been doing for thousands of years. You know, the Jews who lived in the Middle Eastern countries, they take the sound of music around them and turn it into creative, meaningful worship. And so we got the idea of this, and we put ensembles together. And I'm going to show a few videos, sing a few things, but this is some of what has really been meaningful for me in worship that we do on a few times a year. We have prayer lab on high holidays, Erev Yom Rosh Hashanah, Erev Yom Kippur, and then a few times throughout the year. It's about 1/3 music that people already know. It's about 1/3 special prayer lab tunes that we pull out, usually for most prayer labs, and then we pick a theme, and about 1/3 of the music and prayer is based on that theme. So the first one is the prayer lab that was joy. The theme was joy, and we had the dance floor out, from the social hall. We brought it into the sanctuary, moved the chairs, and we put the dance floor out and really wanted to get the people expressing their joy physically. And how do you do that? You just play the right songs, and people will get up and dance. With a few ringers, it helps. So we ended up setting out the dance floor, and this is Eileh Chamdah Libi by Noah Aronson, and you'll see it morphs into some familiar music to get people up and dancing and expressing their joy in service. So here is Prayer Lab Ensemble. This was, what was that? November 30th, 2018.
Wherever you are, come out wherever you are.
So that's a little taste of what we do for Prayer Lab, and hope you enjoyed that one. Again, you know, these videos, they really don't capture the energy on the room, and that's one reason why we are so excited to get back in person safely when we can. And we're happy to continue providing video, just not the same. So, as you all know. So, my wife is nodding enthusiastically. It was a lot of fun. So, we have also used Prayer Lab for a chance to do something a little different. You know, I can't imagine, for example, Avinu Malkeinu by Max Janowski. I can't imagine taking that away from the choir. It is regal, it is elegant, it is one of the most powerful moments of prayer throughout the whole year, throughout my whole life. However, there are people that sing no matter what, like my dad. He sings along with everything. The solos, the group parts. I might be improvising. I don't know the next thing coming out of my mouth, and he's singing along. And you know what? That's beautiful. That's wonderful. I express myself through music, through prayer. I love it that people choose to sing along. And so one thing we did for Prayer Lab for the high holidays, and this has been something we've done each year, has been to sing Avinu Malkeinu lower and to sing a little slower, to give the words to everyone and to invite them to sing. It is remarkably profound to hear a full room singing Avinu Malkeinu. They know it. But to sing it in a place musically that's comfortable for them, and to sing it in a way that is inclusive and welcoming. And I'm going to sing it today without the other instruments, without the other singers. You know, imagine the clarinet over there and the violin over here, but still, it is profoundly powerful. And here we are, you know, almost halfway through, we are halfway through the year. It is Nisan, right? Tomorrow, as my wife is saying. It is almost Rosh Chodesh, and so here we are exactly halfway away from Tishrei. And let's sing Avinu Malkeinu. So feel free to sing along, muted. Let's sing it together. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lefanecha, Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu, Ve'alol Aleinu, V'tafeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Kale Dever, V'cherev V'ra'av, Me'aleinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Kale Chotzar, U'mastir, Me'aleinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Kotbeinu, Sefer Chaim Tovim, Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu, Chadesh Aleinu, Shaina Tova, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu, Shaina Tova, Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu, Shema Koleinu, Shema Koleinu. And then the viola would carry the melody. Yadai, 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 We have also been able to elevate moments before Kaddish. I don't know, has Josh Nelson been a guest for Miller Music? I am blessed to study at Havana Shira, I think over 13 times I've been to study with the faculty, cantors, rabbis, gifted musicians who tour the country, and my teachers and friends. Josh Nelson sang this one evening after a long day of singing, a long day of study, a long day of talking about the craft of leading music. And I was changed after that. Pet Sounds has always been one of my favorite albums by the Beach Boys. And he just gave it new life and new depth. And so for Prayer Lab, we, one service we had, the back of the room was the bima, and we were facing the ark. And I know Shaarai doesn't have movable seating, but maybe someday. And we aligned the chairs kind of like a Sephardic synagogue where everyone's facing each other, and they can look and see us, and they can look and see the ark. And the theme was holiness, Kiddusha. How can we create profound, powerful, sacred moments? And with the music that people grew up with, we can take God Only Knows by the Beach Boys and take it to a new level. And it is prayer, because for so many people, they've lost those who they love and those who meant so much. And so our own little spin. Again, without the ensemble, it's a little different. I hate to put caveats on it, but it was so good in the moment. Here's how it goes. I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you'll never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, though life would still go on, believe me, the world could show nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. This time, the rabbi would say, friends, we take a moment to remember those who are no longer with us. And we would sing Kaddish with music surrounding us, memory surrounding us. What I'd be without you, God only knows. What I'd be without you, God only knows. What I'd be without you, God only knows. What I'd be without you. So that's Prayer Lab. Maybe if we have a chance, I could take a month and we could come and we could have the band rehearse and we could work on some pieces and get some singers in the middle and have a circle, and then we could put on a prayer lab, or you could just come to Arizona. You know, hey, you know, today's high was, it was chilly. It was 61 today. Ha ha ha. So you're always welcome. And there is baseball happening right now, but it's not, you know, that exciting because of the pandemic. Anyway, what's the next one? Oh, is this it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so just a preview for Pesach. This is a little Gadyo by a chazan named Moishe Oysher. You ever heard of Moishe Oysher? He was one of the great chazonim of the golden age of Yiddish song, and actually had many movies in Yiddish that he was part of, one of which, Overture to Glory. Check it out. It's pretty spectacular through the National Jewish Film Archive, which could always use more donations. They preserve these films and make them readily available. Anyway, my dear friend Cantor Luck, who serves in San Francisco, California now, he did his senior recital on Moishe Oysher, and he was my guest, one of my guests for a concert in 2019. And this was one of the Cantor's concerts that we did with our adult choir, singing Gadyo by Moishe Oysher.
Okay, Now I want everyone to repeat after me. Can I have that chord one more time? Okay, repeat after me. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Dizah ben Abba. Dizah ben Abba. Dizah ben Abba. Biswe Zuzi, Madabi, Mighty Bebum. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Chad Gadyo. Hey, then I'm thinking the Gazah ben Abba. Biswe Zuzi, Madabi, Mighty Bebum. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. V'yosa shunera de'ochla legadyo. Dizah ben Abba. Dizah ben Abba. Dizah ben Abba. Biswe Zuzi, Madabi, Mighty Bebum. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Hey, then I'm thinking the Gazah ben Abba. Biswe Zuzi, Madabi, Mighty Bebum. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Tisofar lechutra, tisora lechutra, hika lechava lenosha deshona leocha legadio. Hey, yiggity die, yiggity die, yiggity diggity dum. Hey, yibbity lie, yibbity lie, yibbity lie. Boy, 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 diggity diggity doy doy. Boy, 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 yibbity lie, yibbity lie, boy. Zuzi, Madabi, Mighty Bebum. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Hey, then I'm thinking the Gazah ben Abba. Biswe Zuzi, Madabi, Mighty Bebum. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. B'yosor kodosh baruch hu. V'shochet lemalech hamoves. V'shochet l'shochet. V'shochet l'soiro. The Shosel and Mayo, the Shaka, the Shaka, the Shaka, the Soda, the Shaka, the Maya, the Chava, the Nuda, the Soda, the Huda, the Hika, the Chava, the Nasha, the Shoda, the Yaka, the God, Yo. Pesach, Matzeh, Aronson, Maror, Dizah ben Abba, Biswe Zuzi, Madabi, Mighty Bebum. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo. Hey, then I'm thinking the Gazah ben Abba, Biswe Zuzi, Madabi, Mighty Bebum. Chad Gadyo, Chad Gadyo.
Now, we have to acknowledge this pandemic and what it has done. We are not able to have concerts, we're not able to do much, but I got a new skill. I have learned to make these videos, they're called virtual choir videos, and I kind of took it to a funny level. My 3 kids, 1, 2, 3, for Mother's Day last year, I made a video for their mom. And starring them. And it's a real treat to share with you a little bit of sunshine from Mother's Day 2020.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You always know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. And when I woke, dear, I was so happy. We played all day and ate some pie. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll always know, dear,
Yeah, I had fun with that. So the last video of this segment is going to be just a little bit of thinking about what we did with high holidays last year. Pesach was the first holiday that we had virtual, and now we are about to have Pesach again, virtual. Purim, and by the way, the Purim spiel from Shaarai Shomayim, I always try to catch it whenever I can, however I can, and this year's Purim spiel was really lovely. Kol hakavod to David and the whole team. We had a virtual Purim spiel as well, and so at High Holiday, how many of us at Pesach saw the virtual Saturday night Seder hosted by Jason Alexander, and all the stars from Hollywood that joined from that? It was so incredible to see lots of people who were not Jewish but played Jewish people on TV, like Rachel Brosnahan from Mrs. Maisel. I mean, just how great that they all acknowledged the loss and what it meant to be not together, and how next year we would be together. Well, maybe next year. So maybe not in 2021. Definitely, hopefully 2022. But so I made a whole bunch of videos, including with our adult choir. You can see them all. I have a playlist. I will share the playlist. It'll take 2 seconds because I have it queued up. This is a playlist of all the virtual choir videos that I have made. For those that want to peruse it, I think there are about 45 of them. But this one is our own version of next year that we created for Rosh Hashanah, a special love letter to the congregation from us, the clergy and staff and musicians and some other folks.
When the walls have grown narrow, when the world has turned gray, when the headlines are harrowing day after day.
As you wander and wonder how long you'll stay lost, remember the oceans and the deserts you've already crossed.
'Cause next year, the doors will break open. Next year, we'll breathe in the sky.
Though tomorrow's uncertain, we're gonna get by till it's here. So here's to next year. Here's to next year.
When the people are pleading, 'cause the days seem so stark. When there's nobody leading you out of the dark.
You can't let the misery harden your heart. The worst will pass over, and one day the waters will part. 'Cause next year, the doors will break open. Next year, we'll breathe in the sky.
Though tomorrow's uncertain, we're gonna get by till it's here. So here's to next year.
Here's to next year.
Here's to next year.
Next year, I look forward to welcoming everyone back to Temple High right here in Officer Mike's spot.
Next year being together, singing, making music with friends and family.
Next year, I would like to see continued awareness, praise, and respect for behind-the-lines essential workers who have unselfishly put themselves at risk and shown sincere dedication.
Next year, together with all of you in concert halls.
Next year in person. Next year will all people be held in value and respect. Next year together in our community. Next year with more love and connection than hate and division.
Next year, giving hugs and support to those in need. and celebrating with family and friends as much as we can.
Next year, dipping apples in honey with our family and friends.
Next year, our teachers celebrated as heroes, and all of our students in environments that fully support their learning and growth.
Next year, next year, next year, we'll break next year, next year, next we'll breathe in the sky. Next year, next year, next year, the world will be bright. Next year, next year, next year, oh, next year, the world will break open. Next year, next year. Next year, next year, next year.
As you wonder and wonder how long you'll stay lost.
Remember the oceans and the deserts you've already crossed.
And of course, next year, with all of you.
Next year.
Well, next year is looking pretty tough at this point. We're probably going to have some of you in the pews next year for high holidays, but it is what it is. 2020 extended. Anyway, friends, I wanted to. I only have a couple more tunes, then we're going to celebrate Havdalah together. I wanted to acknowledge this world is broken. This country is broken. We have been through so much, and I gotta say, I was fortunate enough to do the Litaken seminar in Washington, D.C. with the Religious Action Center 2 times. I don't know if Shaarai Shomayim still goes every 3 years, but it was my freshman year and my senior year. There are lots of good stories with Ben Stiefel sneaking off, doing things that we shouldn't have been doing, but we still lobbied in Congress, and look at us today. We're doing all right. I think out of my class, we have international businessman in Ben Cornfield. Sarah Fisher is an attorney living in New Jersey, working in Manhattan. Ben is working in hotels, in finance. I'm a Cantor. And Stuart Blitz is doing, I don't know what Stuart's up to. Let's find out. But anyway, it means so much to stand up for those who have not enough, because we have plenty. And so it's up to us to do what we can. And I find that this text written by Cantor, Ellen Dreskin, and Dan Nichols really speaks to the core values of Reform Judaism. Or Goyim, being a light to the nations, setting an example, doing what we can. And I think, hitting some heartstrings there. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? Every day matters. What you do today, how you treat others matters. And so one year at High Holidays, we replaced the Aleinu with this text. Aleinu means it's upon us. And we replaced the Aleinu with this text to show that it's time for us to stand up and do something. And I feel like it really started something special here at Temple Chai in Phoenix. It's up to us to call ourselves to task, to sing what's good and true, to bring about redemption. It's what we were free to do. For what's the point of being here if we're not moved to change our ways? Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. We are carrying the stories of the ones who came before. What stories will be told of us when we are here no more? We commit ourselves to action. It brings meaning to our days. Aleinu leshabeach. It's time to live our praise. It's up to us to own the vision. We are an answer to a call. It's up to us to live the words we speak for the benefit of all. It's up to us to bow down deeply. There's a broken world to raise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Aleinu l'shabeach. It's time to live our praise. Okay. So, words of thanks. Thank you, Rabbi, for for leading this community since 2008. And your very first bat mitzvah, Sarah David Fisher. I still remember I sat in the front row. We won't talk past that, but we know what happened there. And sincere thanks to the committee who invited me. Sharon, my stepmom, thank you so much for reaching out and inviting me to join and have this special evening together. Thanks to John Perry for working behind the scenes, making sure everything happened when it should and how it should. And just to those near and far, friends who are joining, those in Lancaster who don't know me, maybe Toby Greco's on there. She certainly remembers me, I'm sure. Things like Bobby Dickman teaching us about the Holocaust in 6th grade from Mrs. Kozowski and Mrs. Spiegel in kindergarten, being my teachers at the JCC in the preschool, and everyone near and far. You are in my heart, and everything that I do, I am standing on your shoulders. It means a great deal. And so, as the rain begins to fall in the desert, we can hear it. It's reverberating in this room. I love getting people together to sing, especially musicians that mean so much to me. And the musical legacy of Congregation Shaarai Shomayim is significant. And you are my teachers and my friends, and I've learned so much from you. So I used my super nerdy computer music skills, and I said, let's sing something together, and we did. Friends, we have a treat for you. This is Elohai Nitzor by Donnie Masang, featuring on soprano, Shira Silverman Nafshi, Sarah Zober, on alto, Debbie Mudrick, tenor, yours truly, and bass, Steve Dropkin. It's a real treat to present this for you. David Sofian would have to be in this video for it to be my complete musical heritage from Shaarai Shomayim, but this is pretty good. So thank you so much, everyone. For the evening, after this video, we will conclude with Havdalah.
Elohai
Cantor Wolman, before we get to Havdalah. Folks, I'm going to invite all of you to unmute for about 10 seconds. Can we have a round of applause? This was extraordinary. What an evening.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Cantor Wolman not only grew up here, not only with us tonight, he was our cantorial student for his last year of cantorial school. And we got to hear him regularly that year. Just, Ross, this is such a treat for all of us. People who know you, people who've never met you before tonight. The way you included bits and pieces from everything you're doing, but including all the people who have participated in our music over the years in one way or another. What an incredible and beautiful gift you gave us tonight. So thank you so much. Thank you to Malka and your kids for joining us. Always great to see them. And folks, if you'll mute yourselves again, we'll get ready for Havdalah.
You guys want to come up? Sure. Go ahead. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen. Samim, Orei Minei Vesamim, Orei Minei Vesamim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. You want to sing in the mic? Lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil bein kodesh lechol. Hamavdil bein kodesh lechol. Hamavdil bein kodesh lechol. Chatoteinu yimcho. Zareinu v'chaspeinu yarbei kachol v'hakochavim balayla. Shavuot tov, 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 Shavuot tov. a good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera B'Yameinu, Yavo Eleinu, Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. And a special word of greeting to Phil and Rhea Starr, my godparents. Lovely to see you.
Shavua Tov, everyone. Just a reminder, and then if you have those little apps on your phones with the little candle burning so we can ask for an encore. I don't have one of those. I don't know how to do that. But while we're waiting for someone to find it, tomorrow morning, after you've set your clocks forward tonight at 11:15, Adi Shalev, our shlicha, our emissary from Israel, will be talking to us about what she's learned about Jewish life by spending 2 years in the United States. And she will be actually with us for a third year. We've recently learned, we're very excited about that. 2 weeks from tomorrow, our second night virtual Seder. So as always, lots of things coming up. And it is just incredible to spend this evening with you. So who's found that app? Okay, whoever has it, let's show that so that we can properly request an encore this evening. Someone must have it, come on. Baumgartners, thank you. Baumgartners, right?
Yeah, all right. Let me line something up. Where is that? Concert.
While you're lining that up, let me thank Debbie Mudrick and Steve Dropkin for joining in on that last song. And I will thank the others as well. But that was a very different kind of treat to trace almost 20 years of Shaarai Shomayim music with all those folks who joined together on that last piece, The Wonders of Modern Technology. It's called Flashlight. I should have known. Thanks, Jim. There's actually one with just a candle, though, isn't there?
Yeah, there was, but it's kind of an old app.
There we go. Hava has it.
Yeah, it's Bic Lighter. It's called a Bic Lighter.
Oh my goodness. All right. So this was a concert 2 years ago, and 3 years ago was 2018, and I had a couple of guests, Natalie Young, Dan Sklar, two of my colleagues. Dan Sklar, who used to serve the central Pennsylvania area when he was a student. And I think it was Bima to Broadway, was our theme. And I sang Romania, Romania in Yiddish, which was also something I did in my senior recital at Temple University. But here it is on the Bima of Temple Chai from when we used to sing in person together. Here we go. Well, we've heard some tunes from last year, some Broadway from 50 years ago, some Broadway from a couple years ago. But this is something a little more Jewish. Aaron Lebedeff was one of the great Broadway producers of Yiddish Jewish theater. He wrote songs, stories, along with Abe Elstein and the other greats. The 1940s were a pretty awful time for Jews in Europe. However, in showbiz, life was pretty good for the Jewish people. There was a little catharsis that went along with the tragedy they were reading about across the pond. And so in 1941, with a lot of slapstick and a lot of silliness, he wrote a song about Romania. Oh, the mother country. Romania, Romania. It's a little silly.
Vergnügen. Was das Herrskinder kennst du kriegen? A Mamaligele, a Pastramele, a Carnastele, una Gläsele Wein. In Rumänien ist doch geht von kein Deiges weiß man nicht. Wein trinkt man überall, nie verbeit mit Kastraval. Ei digge digge dam, digge 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 dam, ei digge 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 dam, ei digge digge dam, digge 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 dam, ei digge 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 dam. In Rumänien ist doch geht von kein Sorgen weiß man nicht. Wein trinkt man überall, nie verbeit mit Kastraval. Hey digga digga dum, digga 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 dum, hey digga 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 dum, hey digga digga dum, digga 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 dum, hey digga 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 dum. Oi, weg wollt ich Werner schicken, ich lieb nur Prinz in Mama liegen. Franz und Freilich bis der Stelle, wenn ich es ab, handlo Schelle, Sigma, tiddly dum, Sigma, tiddly dum, boom boom, tiddly dum, hey hey, tiddly dum. Ei, zusammen chaye, besser kann es sein. Ei, Vergnügen ist nur rumänisch Wein. Die Männer trinken Wein und essen Mama-Liga. Während es sein eigen Weigel jägerisch Maschige. Sigma, tiddly-dum, Sigma, tiddly-dum, boom, boom, tiddly-dum, bam, bam, tiddly-dum. Ei, zusammen chaye, besser kann es sein. Ei, Vergnügen ist nur rumänisch Wein. Meier steht an Kiste, Kechne, Chaya, Alter, Golem, After, Shabbos, Magda, Kovel, Kobe, Shabbos, Setz, Tiddly-dum, Setz, Tiddly-dum, Setz, Tiddly-dum, Setz, Tiddly-dum, Jochen Burger, München, Meier steht an Kiste, Kechne, Chaya, Alter, Golem, After, Shabbos, Magda, Kovel, Kobe, Shabbos, Setz, Tiddly-dum, Setz, Tiddly-dum, Setz, Tiddly-dum, Setz, Tiddly-dum. Zusammen chaye, besser kann es sein. Euer Vergnügen, nicht nur rumänisch Wein. Rumänien!
Russ, incredible. Thank you so much. What a night.
Shavua Tov, friends. Nice to be together.
Shavua Tov and Nerli Chag Sameach.
Russ, thanks so much, man. This was great.
Hey, Steve. Pleasure. Thanks for welcoming me to your bima.
Thanks for creating it for me.
Have a great night, everyone. Shavua Tov. Thank you again for joining with us.
Shavua Tov.
David and Colleen, good to see you.
Shavua Tov.
Wonderful.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Wonderful.
Shavua Tov.
And Mom, hi Avi. Hi Molly. Oh, where did they go? They're on the other screen now. Oh, they signed off.